Shares of Starbucks and MGM moving higher after reporting results. We've got full team coverage on both the names. Contessa Brewer standing by in MGM, but we start with Kate Rogers, who is all over that Starbucks conference call. Kate.
Hey there, Melissa. Well, Starbucks out with a very strong Q3, beating on every metric here. Revenues also hitting a new all-time high. Comps rose by 6% globally, 7% in the U.S. That includes a 3% bump in traffic across all day parts, even in the afternoon, which is notoriously tough. Comps were also up 6% in China. On the call, CEO Kevin Johnson said the comps in the U.S. and China were thanks to similar initiatives underway. Take a listen.
This strong performance was driven by three key factors: an enhanced customer experience, relevant new beverage innovation, and accelerated expansion of digital customer relationships. The initiatives we are driving in the U.S. to simplify work, allocate labor to better meet customer demand, and improve our customer connections all contributed to the strong performance in comp transaction growth. In addition to the improved customer experience, we are delivering exciting new beverages that are resonating with customers, particularly our cold beverage platform.
Starbucks Rewards members up to 17.2 million. That's a 14% increase year over year in the U.S., 9.1 million now in China. The company just took that equity stake in Brightloom to license its technology and increase usage at licensed locations globally. Johnson says those digital relationships improve customer retention, increase spend, and increase the frequency of visits. It's important to point out last year in June, Kevin Johnson laid out his strategic plan for growth. The stock fell, but over the past 12 months, it's up nearly 80%. He says the growth at scale initiatives, Melissa, are firing on all cylinders. This report seems to prove it. Back over to you.
Kate, how are they competing against Luckin Coffee, of course, the recent IPO here at the NASDAQ?
So the call's still underway, but Johnson did say on it that they're looking at smaller format and quicker speed stores to get customers on the go in and out in China. We all know that's kind of Luckin's game. So they've got these big experiential offerings in China. That looks to be one new thing they're just starting to get into there, in addition to all the regular format stores, which we have, of course, here and abroad.
All right, Kate, thanks. Kate Rogers back at headquarters. Starbucks is at an all-time high in the after-hours session. By the way, Luckin's up 2% in the after-hours session. But this was an extraordinary quarter for
It really was.
Starbucks.
I mean, you know, the same-store sales numbers were just incredible, both in China and in frankly here. And as big as this is, to have those kind of same-store sales growth, good for them. I do think that digital platform's really working for them. Dan, this is your kind of thing. Stocks at 96, going to 100.
Well, I would have told you. I literally should have. Listen. This thing at 85, you should have known what's going to 100, and I actually had the wrong side of this. And I'll just tell you that they put up a decent quarter last quarter, and the comps were not nearly as good as they are. So the comp growth is accelerating right here, both in North America and both in China, and that was kind of the bear case, that was going to be decelerating. So you're talking about buying this thing at 30 times next year's earnings, and it's growing,
32 times.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, I guess it makes sense. I just don't, have at it, Tim.
You won't have it.
At 96, I'll buy 100.
I'll buy yours and I'll buy Guy's because I've been long the stock for 5 years. And when they're growing U.S. comps at 7%, are you kidding me?
I know.
It's still their core market. These guys are passing on price increases, it seems like almost quarterly. So if you look at their ability to actually survive in a time when their labor costs are going higher, right now, this company is bulletproof in my view.
I mean, you pay, what, $10 for your Frappuccino?
You know what? It's funny you say that, and you've seen this firsthand. I don't buy myself.
You don't drink coffee, really.
I get other people. I don't buy, but it's crazy the amount of money you can drop. I'll say this: I was in Austin, Texas last week, and there was a Starbucks in the hotel. I got a sausage, egg, and cheese on a muffin.
How'd that go?
It was banging. No, it was really pretty good. I digress again.
Nice.
Listen, America's comps up 7%. I mean, the street was at 4.3. They bid there. Emerging markets they beat, and China they beat. It's incredible. The knock will continue to be valuation, but the market's looking past it.
Let's get to MGM. That stock popping after reporting earnings. Contessa Brewer's got the details. Contessa.
All right, so Melissa, MGM shares climbing, results in line with expectations. On EBITDA, it beat consensus in Las Vegas and in Macau. The property earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization is considered an important metric in gaming. And MGM is tackling some hefty one-time costs here associated with restructuring. Those costs and expenses associated with canceled contracts and swaps and debt dragged down the earnings this quarter, but it means the company's on track to deliver $100 million in lift the second half versus the $70 million it had expected. Jim Murren on expectations for the future here.
As we look to the future, we expect to benefit from quite a few tailwinds with improving property earnings, strong Las Vegas macro trends, and MGM 2020 benefiting us in the back half of this year and into next year.
Let's drill down here. Sports betting, strong. Convention business, strong. Leisure business, he says, improving. And this quarter, Las Vegas saw a 12% decline in gaming revenue. The house had some bad luck with table games. There weren't as many gamblers playing baccarat. We've heard that before. And I've learned that there are fewer Chinese visitors in Las Vegas or in other places around the world, for that matter. Currency costs are a challenge, the macroeconomic picture in China, and we talked about that yesterday with Las Vegas Sands a little bit, ongoing trade tensions. The VIP segment is sluggish there. We heard that from other companies. MGM says it's strong in mass gaming in Macau. Jefferies gaming analyst David Katz just told me the expectations were set comfortably low, which set MGM up for a solid quarter. He says, I expect most of the street is still wondering what the activists on the board and that special real estate committee will come back with. Jim Murren addressed that on the call just now. He said the committee is exploring all options, but whatever they are, it has to enhance free cash flow per share. And that report that came out that they would sell Borgata or MGM Grand to a REIT, it's not clear that would enhance free cash flow, guys.
All right. Contessa, thank you. Contessa Brewer. So Contessa mentioned Sands. So Sands versus MGM today, it seems like two very different stories. Is the takeaway here you don't want to be exposed to a more China-centric play, Tim?
Certainly right now, especially based on what we got yesterday also. And I'll say this. I think at MGM, part of this story has been real estate monetization that's gotten people all frothed up. And I'm not sure that's the right thing to be doing. But that, to me, is the differentiator between these stocks.
It's interesting. So you got Wynn on August 1st. Now you have to play the calculus, right? They're heavy Macau as well.
Right.
Las Vegas Sands obviously said some bad things, but you want to take a flyer here on Wynn, which is probably higher in the aftermarket. I'll say this, though. MGM, even with the move higher, out of the three names we just mentioned, is still the cheapest of the three. So I still think there's upside here in MGM off the back of this quarter, Mel.
Wynn is up by 0.4%, but it did lose 2%, I'm sure, in sympathy with Las Vegas Sands today.